wildfire unlike any other we've seen here in the North State. And this is footage of a helicopter collecting water near Mary's Lake. Now, in addition to a series of CAL FIRE helicopters, there are also 6 National Guard helicopters and 800 National Guard airmen and soldiers that are on the fire lines or headed to the fire lines as well. So what will this morning's weather bring, and how will it impact the firefight, especially the wind? Chief Meteorologist Mike Kruger has an update on that this morning. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning. Quite a spectacular sight to see there. I mean, I've actually lived in the Mary Lake area before, and to see that helicopter getting water from Mary Lake itself is just an amazing sight to see. And of course, the image we saw before that with that tornado from the fire, just kind of give you an idea how that all happens. We talk about even those dust devils. What happens is the air is so hot that it rises very rapidly, and a lot of times it can kind of create that little twist and that rotation in there, and it can even have the same impacts as a normal tornado. As you can see, the wind gusts very high, and it can also create some wind damage as well. Now take a look at the temperatures out there right now. It's 81 degrees. This is Mule Mountain area, by the way. The humidity about 21%. It's actually expected to drop though as we go very quickly through the morning, and not to mention the afternoon. The winds northwest, I believe last check it was about 5 miles per hour, but there you can see about 17-mile-an-hour gusts is what we're seeing here in the last hour, and we are expected to see even higher gusts later this afternoon and into the evening. Now take a look at the weather alert day. It's mainly for the intense heat and the high fire danger we have in store for us. So that high fire danger is the reason why I have a red flag warning for the Valley of Shasta and Tahlequah counties, but also includes the mountains north of Redding. High fire danger with localized gusty northwest winds at about 25 miles per hour, especially late in the day and into the evening hours, and hot and dry conditions will pretty much prevail. Here's a look at your heat advisory until tomorrow night. That does include the valley, the surrounding foothills and mountains, and there you can see temperatures in the mountains are expected to be upper 90s to lower 100s, whereas the valley will be looking at temperatures between, say, 105 to 110 degrees. The radar picks up basically debris. What it's picking up is the debris, and it's getting a little bit more scattered here, but you can kind of see in the early parts of this animation, in this loop, the early parts of it showing it kind of shifting southward. And again, that's that southward progression that we're seeing as we speak, as it's moving very rapidly into the Igo area. And of course, we've been seeing we saw some of those flames from Courtney as she's out there out at the Igo school, as a matter of fact. So again, we're watching that very closely. Here's the air quality. Redding area is unhealthy right now for everyone, which means a good idea just to stay indoors if you can. And if you are going to be outdoors, just avoid prolonged outdoor activities. And in Red Bluff, we do have unhealthy for sensitive groups as your air quality there. So people with heart or lung disease, older adults, children, and teenagers should all try to stay indoors, and at the same time, just avoid a lot of that outdoor activity.
Thanks, Mike. It is 9:47. We have a team of reporters assembled to bring you all of the information you need about this fire, including some reporters from our sister stations across the West. Thousands of the evacuees and the people who lost their homes now need a place to stay. Reporter Tayana Garcia is live from the Sheraton Hotel in Redding to find out if there's any room at the inn. Tayana?
Tell you, the situation out here is truly heartbreaking. I've been speaking to a lot of people. They've been crying. They've lost their homes entirely. Their houses are now ashes and rubble, and they just cannot believe this is going on. Now, we are right outside the Sheraton Hotel here at Redding, where all you see is ashes all over this place, ashes falling on top of people's uncertainty, not knowing, standing in the limbo, not knowing what's happening with their houses, not what's happening with their family members. Many of them tell me they can't get a hold of their family members, so they're very just anxious right now, trying to figure out what to do, where to go next. I spoke to a gentleman earlier today. He told me how his daughter was evacuated from a motel over at Redland, and she just does not know what to do. Now, if we see the entire parking lot entirely packed, just people rolling in with their bags, trying to get rooms, but they get turned back because there is nothing left for them. Actually, the entire maintenance team here didn't even make it to work because they had to evacuate. So it is a lot of chaos that we're seeing out here. We had some people over just crying, bawling, talking talking on the phone, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. This 88-year-old lady saying, this was everything I had. This was my home. I cannot believe I lost everything. Her neck filled with necklaces, her arms filled with, watches and everything she was able to put on herself to run out because she lost it all and she was about to lose it all. We want to show you just this parking lot. I spoke to the manager out here in Sheraton. She told me they're doing everything they can to accommodate people. They are so short-staffed that they cannot believe just how they're trying to manage everything with just 2 and 3 people. They do not have a way to clean people's rooms, and they kind of let them know, the tourists that have been calling in, it's best you try to come maybe a month after, try to cancel. We're not in the best conditions right now. And right now, that's exactly what's being lived out here. Just ashes and smoke. Take a look at that, the sun trying to make its way out in the midst of all this haze, the smoke, the air out here. The air quality is very poor. So no matter where you go, you will find evacuees, you will find people not knowing what to do, you will find just ashes falling on you. And of course, those who are even closer to the fire, well, they will be able to see the flames and just how roads are closed off. These are a must around here, these masks, because of course they protect you from what's going on at least a bit. Of course, if you have health issues or complications, they're asking you do not go out by any means. Try to stay inside. Even in the hotel where we were staying, just the moment I turned off my AC, I was able to feel all the smoke come in as I walked out of my room. It was just incredible to see. Give me 1 second. Excuse me, sir. Do you mind talking to us? Did you have to evacuate?
Yeah.
With your cat, I see. Where do you have to evacuate from?
Middle Creek Road.
Yeah, and how are you feeling right now with this entire situation? It's just too much, too fast.
Devastating. Unfortunately, took my girlfriend to the new subdivision over that they're making off of 299 to get up closer to where the fires were happening near Shasta, town of Shasta, to hopefully show her that her house was safe. But while we were there, her ridge burst into flames, and she watched her house go up, and that was the point. And then it took out the whole ridge, and moved to the Sacramento River, and jumped the river and started going up the river and north towards a lake. And I would say the fire moved at that point about 1 mile in 20 minutes. The winds created by the fire were ferocious, and it was like a scene out of Armageddon there, and it was a horrific thing.
That's what I'm hearing. People are calling this apocalyptic. They're saying it looked like from taken out of a movie. They cannot believe this is happening. They say they saw like the tornado, a fire tornado, just swirling over the homes and taking down roofs. What did your girlfriend say? Where's she staying?
She's behind me right now, and I'm going to console her. She's devastated. Her home was a very nice home, and she had 42 years of collectibles of Indian artifacts and antiques, and she's not doing well.
Yeah, I'm so sorry you're going through this, and I see you were able at least to take your cats out. And are your family members okay?
Everybody's okay. Her daughter also lost a home, so it's and her ex-husband's home was threatened on Lower Springs Road, and her son has a home near Placer, and it's safe, and he's got good clearance around it, so I think he's going to be okay. But it's just too much for one family, and her son was staying at her home and lost a lot of his possessions, and I lost possessions, but the possessions can be replaced, of course, but there's a lot of life given to acquiring them over years, and especially when you did it in the way that she has, and you can hear in the background, and it's devastation, and some people don't recover for it, and so
yeah, I actually spoke to her earlier. She didn't want to go on camera, but she just could not believe that this was happening to her. She says, everything I had, everything I worked on so hard my entire life. Now she saw it crumble, go into pieces, and this is what thousands of people are living with right now. I'm so sorry you're having to go through this. Do you know until what time you're able to stay at this hotel?
Well,
You still have a room?
It's our third day, and I think she tried to get further our stay here, and I think they've given us one more day because I think they had previous bookings, and they're trying to call people from out of the air and tell them, please don't come up, that there's people here who need housing. And so we'll see what happens. The thought of having to leave here, because they need to kick us out, is something that I don't think we should be able to endure right now.
Yes.
And all she wants to do is go back and lay on her land, where her house was, which is gone. But I think she needs to go and lay on it anyway and heal.
Yeah. I'm so sorry you're going through this. What was your name?
Anthony.
Anthony, thank you for talking to us. And the best part out of all this is that you guys are okay. And that's what matters the most, right?
Yeah.
Anything you guys are planning ahead in? I mean, you only have one more night here. What are you planning to do next? Do you have an idea or no?
As far as what I hear, the rooms are booked from clear down through Chico. So if we can't get a room, then I guess, I don't know. Resources-wise, we have resources, so we'll figure something out. If we have to buy a trailer and bring it to the property, then I guess we'll do that.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
It's a matter of where her emotions take her.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
What she's able to handle. So I don't know.
We'll stand strong, stand tall, and for her too, for her entire family.
Keep up the work and get out there close to the fire if you can, and give people updates on what's happening. Because I had to do it to ease her mind, and it turned out to be the wrong thing to do.
What do you mean?
Well, when we came close to the fire, I was hoping that was going to show her that the fire is moving away from her house. Don't worry about it. And then that was at the moment, that very moment, that her house erupted, and she watched her house go up. She wasn't able to see the house, but beyond the ridge, I mean, she knew exactly. I was trying to use my pinpoint her house with my iPhone compass, and as I'm trying to figure out exactly where it is and whether it just missed her house or not, she knew it was her house going up.
Wow.
And her son-in-law walked in through the river trail and confirmed that both his house, his family's house, and on Iron Mountain Road, and her house was consumed.
Yeah.
So I don't think that it's a good thing for people to watch their own home going up. And so, you guys do your job and
try to stay safe, everyone. Thank you so much, Anthony, for talking to us. Stay safe and keep your hopes up. Everything's going to be better from here on. So, as you see, this is a reality people are living with out here, not having a home, losing everything, not knowing what to do about it, having to find other means, crying, just bawling, talking to their family members, trying to find a solution, not finding anything immediate at least, and obviously just a lot of anguish, a lot of pain, a lot of heartbreak, not knowing what to do, a limbo out here. We see more people pulling in out here on the other side, and let's see if there will be enough rooms in there. But as we know, there are over 100 rooms in here, and there's nothing left. So remember, there are evacuation shelters you can go to. Hotels are entirely booked in all this area of Redding and hours south and north of here. So please go to those evacuation centers. We want to show you those graphics right now. There are also shelters where you can go to if you have animals or pets, cats, dogs. They will take you in. So there are options for you out there. There are solutions for you out there. The most important part is if you feel unsafe, do not go there. Try to always stay away from the fire. Always listen, heed to those evacuation orders. Listen to whatever firefighters tell you, whatever CAL FIRE tells you. It looks like these people are from, Shasta Fire County. Well, of course, we will keep you updated with all the latest information out here. Hotels are booked, fully booked. Go to shelters around you and heed to all warnings and evacuation orders. Reporting live, Tayana Garcia, back to you.
Just so many dramatic stories. That gentleman she spoke to in the parking lot describing the scene that transpired Thursday night. That's when the fire kicked up Thursday night, raced through Middle Creek Road as he described, burning his girlfriend's home, jumping the Sacramento, and then advancing into subdivisions like Stanford Hills subdivision, Stanford Manor, and all of those Keswick subdivisions as well. Areas that never thought the fire would reach them. We've heard it time and time again. People thought there's no way the fire is going to reach me, but this fire, the Carr Fire, we keep saying, is unlike any other fire before. It's reaching areas that people never thought they'd have to deal with this.